Hey, how everybody doing? Look at you all. How's it going?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah,
Marilyn,
welcome.
Stephen, Linda, Julie, Brenda, Jolyn, Judy.
Hello.
Cool.
Oh,
Nice
let's
to
see
see
if
you
I
all
can get
here.
this fixed. Yeah, there we go. All right. Welcome to episode number 295 of What Does This Button Do? It's an educational show about smartphones, technology, travel, the cloud, and it's with us geeks on tour. That's us.
Yep.
Chris has a quick tip here for you. Chris, what do you have?
Oh, this is just such a fun one with Google Photos. And just in case you don't know about Magic Editor, I want to show you one example. Notice that picture on the left. Some friends of ours took us out for dinner on Valentine's Day, and I thought it was so cool that there was this heart in the window behind us. But I wanted to make it bigger for the photo. Guess what? Google Photos with the Magic Editor can do that. So I open Google Photos and I find that photo, and then you tap Edit, and the Magic Editor is this special little button over here at the bottom left. And I tempted to say it's the green button, but then it turns red, and then it turns blue. So it's the multicolored changing button. I tap on Magic Editor, and it tells me to circle, brush, or tap to select something. Well, through a little bit of trial and error, I realized that I have to actually highlight around it there. So see, I just kind of rubbed around the outline of the heart. I did zoom in a little bit first to make it easier. Now it says tap and hold selected area to move or resize. So, and I think I have to be back down. I touch and hold, and now you'll notice that the little heart is kind of attached to my finger. If I use two fingers, I can make it bigger. And then for Magic Editor, you tap the right arrow to say, okay, I'm done, your turn. And it does some, what it calls generating. And it makes the heart bigger. I tap the check mark and save copy. It will not overwrite my original, but it does save the copy of that picture with the heart made much bigger. Isn't that cool? You know, so
Very
you have to
cool.
get creative in what you think you can use it with. You know, you can move things too. Like if you take a picture of a person jumping, you can make them jump higher, etc. Fun stuff.
Okay, that is fun stuff. Thanks. Well, hi everyone. I'm Jim, and here together with my wife, Chris, we are Geeks on Tour. Do you think your smartphone is smarter than you? And you have questions about the cloud and technology and traveling apps? And where do you learn? Where can you learn?
We are geeks, also known as propeller heads. That's why these funny little hats. But we are geeks who teach. And we think the best way to learn is in bite-sized pieces on a regular basis. So we came up with this YouTube show, and we think live streaming is a really fun way to go. So you can ask us questions and we can answer on air. But then they turn into recordings, and we also have, 900 and some odd short
We do.
recordings, tutorial videos. Everything is collected on our website, geeksontour.com. Check it out.
All right. So, what's happening with the geeks?
Well, you know, a lot of these people don't know our news.
Oh, well, see that ship there? That's going to be our new home starting in April. Right?
Now, you may have heard that we did decide to live on this Villa to buy a cabin, sell our house, buy a cabin on this ship and live on there. But our original plan was to join the ship in June in San Francisco, and we've upped that.
We've changed our plans.
So the countdown has started.
Our plans are written in Jell-O very often. They're subject to change.
We are home right now, though,
Yes.
but we are counting,
Fort Lauderdale, Oakland Park.
63 days until we start our life aboard the Villa V Odyssey.
But who's counting?
We are.
Yeah, we are.
We are just more excited every day, even though there's a lot of work involved. But
We're cleaning out the house as things happen there. The Odyssey update.
so how do you find out where the Odyssey is at any day?
There are some tools out there. I use Cruise Mapper. That's my main one to find out where the ship is located right now. It's not just our ship. It's any ship that you want to put in there. But I have this one linked so I can go right to it with a shortcut.
And so if you go there today, it says that the ship is in port in Buenos Aires.
And they have to get back on board day after tomorrow. You get a couple of days in port. It's really, really cool the way they do it.
Yeah, the ship is actually in port more often than it's at sea. So we really enjoy, now that we are owners, we are able to participate in the WhatsApp groups. So we read the conversations going on amongst people on board.
And that's what's so exciting. It is.
To think about. I mean, here's this first message. Anyone interested in the Pantanal Jaguar tour?
Nah, I'd
Oh,
never want
yeah.
to go.
Oh my, that would be fun.
Wouldn't it be?
So please directly message me. And then here's another one that doesn't sound like quite as fun, but maybe important.
For a geek, it sounds like fun. Anyone got to go to the Apple store with me this morning? Hey.
And
They're going to really, some larger ports. Buenos Aires is a large city, so there's all kinds of facilities there. And you take advantage of them when you can.
And if you didn't see our episode 290 or 292, that's where we shared photos and talked all about the Villa V Odyssey if you have more information.
And we'll put those in the description and the links down below.
Or there are several fellow YouTubers already on board, and you can get links to their channels by going to geeksontour.com/Villa V Residence.
Or hit that QR code. That'll take you there.
Yeah. And residentialcruising.com. That's an easy one to remember. He gives the details of what it's all about.
Right.
All right.
We do want to thank our premium members. You make our work possible, and I see several of you here. I've already put a couple up there. Let's see. Bert, Liz, Barbara. Uh-oh, that's kind of small, isn't it? Let's get those up bigger. That's better. Okay, April 27th, by my calculations, you'll hit your 300th episode.
Now realize we're only doing these episodes every other week, so I think it's a little bit later than that, but we will clearly be on the ship by then for our 300th episode. That'll be cool.
Hey, Jimmy, good to see you here. Greetings from LBI. I hope it's not too cold for you. Pamela McKay. Okay. Oh, that's Bruce or Pamela. Up there somewhere. You gotta have to read this. Cartagena is so beautiful. Yeah, we've been there. It's beautiful. Murray. Victoria, rainy and mid-40s. So I guess the snow is all melted and now you're just into that.
Yes, we're debating about whether we're going to go to Cartagena 1 day or 2 days before we get on the ship to get the feel for Cartagena.
It's such a pretty town,
Yeah.
Our city. It's a lot to do there. A lot to do. I want to remind our premium members about the Backstage Pass. It's a Zoom meeting that we have right after this show. So about 3 o'clock our time, Eastern time. You get the link from an email that Chris sent out earlier today, or you can visit our website, geeksontour.com, and go to the member login, and that link will be right there. Okay. Linda's in Honolulu.
So
We're going to go see her.
we will. So we will be in Hawaii now. We're joining the ship before it goes to Hawaii. That will be the end of May, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Near the end of May, we'll be in Hawaii. So today's episode is about Google Photos and how to learn to do it right. But I want to just point out three things that I see so often about things that people do wrong, and it can be a real problem. So if you're going to use Google Photos, yeah, I'm just pointing out three things. So this is number one. If you're going to use Google Photos, use it. Don't use the app that came with your phone. With the Samsung phones, your native app, that's what I call it, the native app is Samsung Gallery. If you have an iPhone, your native photo app is Apple Photos. You got to stop using those and make sure you're using Google Photos, else things get messed up. Now, if you happen to have a Pixel phone, that is Google through and through. So this discussion is not for you. Google Photos is your native photo app if you have a Pixel. So my point, let me demonstrate a little bit here. So that photo that I showed about making the heart bigger in my quick tip, let's say that I'm on my Samsung, so let's look at the Samsung, and I open the photo gallery, and I want to view that photo and make the heart bigger. I tap on edit, but there is no magic editor here. Now, so that's fairly obvious. I mean, I chose the Samsung Gallery rather than the Google Photos. But one thing that you may not realize, I notice a lot of people viewing their photos from the camera app. So I tap on camera, and that photo of our Valentine's dinner was the last photo taken here. I tap on it from the camera app. What app am I in now? Is it Google Photos or is it Samsung Gallery? This is a Samsung, the default, and to my knowledge, you cannot change this default. The default photo app is Samsung Gallery. So I've had it happen so many times that people are trying to follow my Google Photos instructions and they say, but I don't have that button. Well, are you sure you're in Google Photos? So you need to get into the habit. If you're going to use Google Photos, you got to use Google Photos. So if you take a picture with the camera, do not view that picture from the camera. You have to go back out to home and then tap the Google Photos to view that picture and have the Google tools available to you. Notice now when I tap edit, there is the magic editor button. All right, so that's my little demo there. If you're going to use Google Photos, use it. Now some people say, but I like Samsung Gallery. I want to keep using Samsung Gallery. I'm just going to use Google Photos as an extra backup. Okay, as long as you really understand what you're doing there. And I'll circle back to that in a later slide. So that's number one thing that I see people doing wrong. Number two is don't delete photos unless you're clear exactly what photos are being deleted. When you use Google Photos to delete, you're deleting from the device as well. I've seen so many people take a bunch of photos, they use the Google Photos app, they go to the Google Photos, tap the trash can. Now when they go back to their Samsung Gallery or their Apple Photos, those photos are gone. And they say, wait a minute, I thought I was just deleting them from Google Photos. No, that's not the way it works. So so my rule is simply don't delete unless you fully understand what you're deleting. And then make sure that you have a second backup. I say have a second cloud backup. I mean, Google Photos is one cloud backup, but if you mistakenly delete stuff, they're gone unless you have a second. I use the iCloud and the OneDrive and the Amazon Photos as well. So I have multiple backups.
Just an aside there, I got a message from one of the people on the ship who has lost access to her local external hard drive where she keeps her photos. Now, I haven't really discussed it with her, and I don't want to shame her for not having more than one copy yet, but it's coming. And one copy of a photo, no matter where it is not a backup. It has to be backed up to a second external hard drive, local hard drive somehow, or an extra cloud backup. Google Photos is a great backup. I use Amazon myself as the second backup. I don't have a Samsung, so.
iPhone, yeah, or a Samsung.
Or, yeah.
Okay, so this slide here, when I delete from Google Photos, why does it delete from Apple Photos and iCloud? So people ask, can they use both Google Photos and Apple iCloud? Well, yes, you can, but they handle deletions very differently, and you need to understand that. So when you use the trash can icon in Google Photos, it deletes both the original on your phone and the copy that is in Google Photos. Now, it's iCloud that keeps every Apple device in sync, and if it notices that a photo is gone from your phone, it synchronizes that deletion to every other. So yes, if you use Google Photos to delete, it's deleted from iCloud. That has to do with iCloud, not with Google Photos, but you need to understand that. Now, if the photo was garbage, that's what you want, right? I mean, you say, hey, thank you very much. I wanted to get rid of that photo from everywhere. But if that's not what you wanted, you're in trouble. And the third item that I want to point out is there are some people who have had organizational systems that they've been using for years. They change their file names to have the date and the person who's in the photo and the location of when the photo was taken. You don't need to do any of that if you're using Google Photos. Google Photos knows what a person's face is, and when it sees a second photo with that same face, it groups the photos together dynamically. When it sees a location, it puts that photo on a map. So all this stuff is done for you. Don't waste your time doing all that work. And if you do have a system that you say, nope, I like my system, I want to keep it, maybe Google Photos isn't the right tool for you. Google Photos is for those of us who say, I take thousands of photos and I just want to take it and be done with it, but still be able to find any photo that I want later. That's what Google Photos is for. All right, so how do you learn to do it right?
I have an idea. Ask Chris.
In case you don't know, I am a Google Photos product expert designated by Google. Since 2016, I've been designated that way, and I've risen up. I am now a diamond level. I wrote a book called Learn Google Photos, and I have literally hundreds of tutorial videos, you know, the 3 to 7 minute on the website. So it's getting kind of overwhelming. So what I've done is I've come up with a checklist. A Google Photos learning checklist just for the essentials. I mean, there's lots to know, but if you just want to cover the essentials and see that you're understanding it right, I think this checklist of mine will help you tremendously. If you want to just scan that QR code now, it will take you to the checklist, or the link to the checklist is in the description of this video. Or if you're on our newsletter email list, you got an email earlier today. So let me show you how it works. If I go to I'm going to go to another account and email. Shoot, I got to stop that. Okay. So if you got an email and here is the link to the checklist, you just click it and you should see the checklist. Now you might, it's stored in my Dropbox account. So you might get a prompt to log into your Dropbox account. You do not need a Dropbox account to get this. So just X out of that. You should be seeing the Google Photos checklist. You could click this little down arrow to download it to your own computer, but my recommendation is just to click File and Print. And then you still have to click the little printer icon and print it out. So I hope that you all are able to do that. What I want to do now is show you my printout of the checklist. Okay. And so here's how you use it. Use this checklist. That's okay now.
No, it's not.
Use this checklist to go through and see things that you already know how to do and check them off. So let's say this first section here, knowing your Google account. Well, you've always been a little confused about the Google account, so let's leave those unchecked. But then you say, oh, I know how to view photos by date with Google Photos. I don't know how to view them on a map. I know how to search. Maybe I need to look at the organizing. Basic crop and color correction, I know that one. I might need to look at these others. So, et cetera, et cetera. You go through these, oh, I've made collages and animations. I've made highlight videos. I make albums all the time. So you can check off the things that you think you know. Now, for the ones that are left, here are, it says tip 085. I want to show you what that is. Actually, the one I'm going to do is, tip 085. Know your Google account. So if you have the checklist up on your screen, you can just click on that highlighted, that is a link. But if you're just looking at the printout, all you have to do is go to Geeks on Tour and geeksontour.com/tip 085. And it will take you to the right place. Now, you do need to know, so what are these tips? Our website is so full of so many things. I mean, there's tutorial videos, there's these YouTube shows, there's articles, and the website has been around for 15 years. It's a little bit overwhelming. So as a service to our premium members, I have kind of gathered together all the resources for one point and made them these tips. So most of these tips are for members only, but I'm gonna show you how it works, and there are a few that are free for all. So tip 085 is about your Google account. And my tips always start with just a couple of paragraphs that hopefully succinctly explain the issue at hand. And then there's Learn More with a link to all the different videos that I have made on this issue. So you must have a Google account to use Google Photos. If you have multiple Google accounts, be clear which one is used for your photo. Your username and password provides the lock and key under which your photos and videos are stored. You get 15 gigabytes of storage for free. If you need more, you pay a small amount for storage, and that makes you a member of Google One. Now I want to play video. So then you could play all of these videos, but I want to play you 792.
Hi, this is Chris Guld with Geeks on Tour, and I like using a lot of the Google free tools. Gmail, Calendar, Google Photos, Google Docs. And one of the things I really like is that signing in once with my Google account gives me access to all of those. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to demonstrate this using an incognito browser, meaning I am not signed into any account. So if I go to Gmail, it's going to ask me to sign in with my Google account, my Gmail account. If I go to Calendar for Google's Calendar, I need to sign in before I can see my calendar. Same thing with Drive. And the same thing with Google Photos. Photos.google.com. I need to sign in to my Google account. So now I'm going to close all these and start over and show you how signing in once gets me access to all of them. That's what's meant by Google being a single sign-in to all of their apps. So I go to Gmail. I'm going to sign in using my imaginary friend Alan's email address. Now he has a gmail.com email address, so that is of necessity a Google account. You might have Google accounts using other email addresses, but if it's Gmail, it's definitely a Google account. I enter his password. I am now seeing his Gmail email inbox. Now I will go to Calendar, calendar.google.com. I am seeing Alan's calendar. Drive, I am seeing Alan's Google Drive. And last but definitely not least, Photos. I am now seeing Alan's Google Photos account. So one sign in and you get access to everything. Now on your phone, you can go to a browser and go to gmail.com and all of that, but it's much more advisable to use the app. So you would download the Gmail app, and when you open it, you find your account in the upper right-hand corner. I call that the account button. And if you're logged in with your account, you see your stuff. Same thing with Calendar. There is it should be your face up here. If not, you tap on it and you might have other options depending on what accounts were set up on your phone. But you will be seeing the calendar entries or the Gmail for whichever account is the currently signed in one. Google account, one account, access to multiple Google tools.
I've gotten so accustomed to that I just totally take it for granted now. But it is wonderful that one login gets you all these different services. Therefore, you need to guard that account username and password. There's another video, but I'm not going to take the time to play it, but just make a note, 569. You need to watch 569 also, that says how to prove to yourself that you know your Google account username and password so you can get in. And then you go to your Google account settings and make sure that there is a phone number, a recovery phone number, and a recovery email in case something should happen that you lose access to your account, you can prove who you are. Very, very important. So your Google account, very important. So what is next is, so understanding this Google account is where all your photos are. They're in the cloud, but not just anywhere in the cloud. They're in your Google account in the cloud under lock and key with your username and password. But once they're in the cloud, Google couldn't care less if they're still on your devices. So there are ways to delete them from the device, but leave them in the cloud, and then you can still see them from anywhere. I think it's just brilliant, but it's different from other systems you've used, so you need to make sure you understand it. All right. So the next item on the checklist is upload from your phone. This is the main purpose this is why Google Photos was invented. The purpose for which it was designed is we're taking thousands and thousands of photos with our phones, and now what? So it will just automatically copy every photo you take with your phone and put it up in the cloud in your Google Photos account. And we're going to go look at tip 086. And remember, how do you do that? You just go to geeksontour.com and add a slash and tip 086. And here we go. Now it's referring to a chapter in my book, Learn Google Photos. So if you have the book, this is what chapter 2 is all about also. Don't lose your photos if you lose your phone. All you need to do is install the app and turn on the backup setting. Then watch as the photos from your phone start to collect in your Google Photos. Now, Google Photos is good, but you need to check it. So that means going to a web browser, photos.google.com. Now you're looking just at the cloud. And if you don't see your photos there, it means either you don't know your account or they didn't get uploaded. So Google Photos' job is to upload your photos. Your job is to check that it happened. Then you can free up space on your phone. Now, let me go back to this one. Notice this little comment over here. You must open the app occasionally in order for the backup to happen. This is something that people don't realize. They install the Google Photos app on their phone. They turn on the setting for automatic backup. So far, so good. And then they forget about it. And they use other stuff. It won't be backing up. You have to open that app. I don't care if it's an iPhone or an Android. It does seem to be more important on an iPhone. But you have to open that app in order to get it to know that there are new photos that need to be uploaded. So that's something that is important. How about photos that are on your computer? I think we have a few questions. Shall we deal with those now?
Up to you.
Yeah, I don't want to wait too long to deal with people's questions here.
All right, let's see what we got here. Murray says there are some things in iPhotos that are not in Google Photos. I say, do any of those things first before you do the rest in Google Photos. I think I got it now.
Okay. I don't think it really matters which order you do it, but the thing to realize is that whether you're using Google Photos or Apple Photos on an iPhone, they're both working with the one photo that is on your device. So if you use the Apple Photos ability to separate a person from the background and then save it as a separate picture, you will see that separate picture in Google Photos. But yeah, I tend to agree, Murray, that therefore, if there's something special that Apple Photos does, go ahead and do that first. Google Photos should see it, and then you're good to go from there.
Jill says, don't seem to be able to back up automatically to both Google Photos and OneDrive. Any suggestions?
Well, I have a video on that. You know, if you just go to Geeks on Tour and use the search for OneDrive, you should see if you have a Samsung has made an arrangement with Microsoft OneDrive that natively now you can check a box in your Samsung gallery that says automatically make backups to OneDrive. In my video, this is in the past, I say how you can just install OneDrive and turn on backup. Once again, just like the fact that you have to open Google Photos in order for the backup to happen, you have to open OneDrive in order for the backup to get going. That might be the issue.
When I swipe up in Google Photos on my Android, there's an option to delete from device.
Yes, exactly. So when I say delete, I'm talking about the trash can. The trash can icon means this photo is garbage, delete it from everywhere. If you just want to free up the space from your device, you want to delete the photo from device but leave it in Google Photos, that's what you do. You swipe up and there's a delete from device. Very good.
If you upload old photos, you want to alter the date and location and name before you upload them. I have hundreds of pics from before 1980 that I want in Google Photos, but I want the correct dates, etc.
Okay, and I have a couple videos on that too, and they probably even in the checklist about dates. The thing is, you can change both dates and locations once they're in Google Photos. The problem is that only is valid while that photo is in Google Photos. If you then download it, it loses that extra information. So yes, if your photo process can manage it, you should change the date and the location before you upload it to Google Photos. Good point.
Okay, can Google Photos sort alphabetically or numerically?
It cannot sort the individual photos alphabetically or numerically. It's by date, period, end. Google Photos does not care about file names. So it does not sort by file names, period.
Okay, Barry says, in my opinion, organization is a key to effective and meaningful learning.
Well, that's why I keep working on the organization of our website. There's a ton of information there. And if you can't find what you're looking for, please do use the contact us. I will figure out a way to make it more accessible.
Okay, one more, and then is there a way to select a bunch of photos and back them up into Dropbox?
From Google Photos, to select a bunch of photos and back them up. You could select a bunch of photos and then use the share option and share to Dropbox. Now that requires a phone, not the computer, and it requires that the Dropbox app be installed on the phone. But then, yes. Okay, next, gathering from computer. Now, first, I want you to see the tip 087. So gathering from elsewhere. Realize the purpose of Google Photos is to collect your entire lifetime of photos. So that means from your phone, from your computer, from your photo albums that are in the closet, from backup CDs. You want to collect everything into one place, your Google Photos account. So let's go look at tip 087. Do you remember how to do that? We go to geeksontour.com, add a slash, and tip 087. And collecting the rest of your life's photos and videos. Yeah, if the only photos in your life are those that you've taken with your phone, then you don't need to read this part. But if, like most of us, you had a life before smartphones, then you need to learn more. There is a manual way to upload from your computer, and there's an automatic way. And it's gotten much better as of October 2024. We have a new method of uploading automatically. Go back to the... So from the computer now, if you wanted it to happen automatically, you used to have to install Google Drive for desktop. And I do have a video on that. It's a pretty complicated process. They have made it so much simpler just since last October. Let me show you. So you go to the computer version of Google Photos, which is a browser, and go to photos.google.com. You'll see a little plus in the upper right. You click that and you have the choice to back up folders. So let me show you that. I am going to go to our imaginary friend Danny's Google Photos account. So just photos.google.com. And I choose Danny's account because look at this. You know, he only has like 10 pictures in his Google Photos account. So it'll be easy to see if other things are uploaded. You click on the plus. So this is, and I'm saying I have some photos on this computer that I want in the Google Photos account. They are all in a folder called Oregon 2013. So I click on Backup Folders. Notice it says Backup Automatically. Backup Folders. It's going to ask for permission. It's just giving you a heads up here. And Dropbox. So on my computer, I have a folder for Dropbox and Oregon Photos 2013. Now I need to tell you, there are, there are 20 photos in that folder. Then there are 2 subfolders. One has 5 photos and one has 6. So I need to understand, is it just going to copy the Oregon 2013 folder, which has 20 photos in it, or is it going to get the subfolders as well? I select this folder, I give it permission to view the files, and it's backing up. Notice it says some number of 31. So this is, I think this is really exciting. It's so much easier than it used to be with Google Drive for desktop. It has imported 31 items, 20 from the main Oregon folder, 5 from one subfolder, and 6 from the other subfolder. I say thank you very much. We're done. Now I look at all the photos in Danny's account, and there's a lot more than there was. And if you should add any other photos, you know, let's say you have a thumb drive, all you have to do is put them in that folder that is being watched by Google Photos, and they will automatically be uploaded. so much easier than it used to be. So that is gathering from computer.
Let's see. When I uploaded from my computer, it crashed loading them. If I try to do this again, will it double up the photos that have already been captured there?
Marilyn, no, it will not upload again the exact same photo that has already been uploaded. Now, it will upload similar photos. So, I mean, people...
Lynn has another question similar. Why does Google Photos save?
Right. People say that I have duplicates, and I agree. I have some places that they sure look like duplicates to me, but there's something different about them, because you can try this. Upload one photo from your computer to Google Photos. Notice that it got there. Now upload that exact same photo again. It will appear that it's working, but when it's all said and done, you will only have the one. So it starts to upload it a second time and it says, wait a minute, that photo's already there. So no, it does not upload exact duplicates. Doesn't mean that you're not going to see duplicates in your library.
Say you're welcome.
You're welcome.
Does it retain in comments the subfolder name?
No. Now that, yeah, I meant to mention that. Thank you. It will upload all the contents of the subfolders, but the way Google Photos works, there are no folders. It is one giant stream of photos in date order, date taken order.
Okay. That's about it for questions.
Okay.
Unless I missed one.
All right.
We'll have to come back to it.
So next item on the Google Photos Essential Learning Checklist is exploring your photo library. Exploring photos by date, tip 089, or photos on a map, tip 002. Lots of ways to see your photo library. The grid shows all your photos in one giant stream by date taken. And the map shows photos in place. So let me show you tip 002. And, oops, not the right place. So remember, we go to geeksontour.com/tip 002. And we will, uh-oh, what did I do? That looks right. It's under tutorials and top tips. Oh, no. And tip 002. There we go. I don't know what I did wrong in that first one, but here it is. A map view of your photos in Google Photos. Google Photos Your Map is another way to find your memories. You find it on the Collections tab. Oh, another reason to use my tips, to become a member and use these top tips rather than just the videos, is that these are pretty easy for me to keep up to date. And I want you to notice up here, it says that this was updated October 8, 2024, even though it was originally posted on April 2023. So I do try to keep these up to date, thus the reason for the top tips. Whereas my original video, if there's something out of date in the original video,
I'm not going to change it.
Oh man, is it a pain to change an original video and then upload that. So that's another value of these tips. I keep them up to date. All right. And for this one, then at the end of each tip, there is this Learn More. Video, 3.5 minutes. Let's play him that one, 886. I think it's just great to be able to see where a photo was taken. Google Photos makes this really easy. I'm Chris Guld with Geeks on Tour, and I'm going to show you how. In Google Photos, there's two ways to get to the map view. One is just to open up any photo, swipe up, and you should see a map of where that photo was taken. If you tap on the map, now you're in the map view, and you can pinch and zoom in the map view, and every place that you see the little colored heat map is where there are photos. And at the bottom of the screen, you can scroll through, and they're in date order. So you see location on the top and dates on the bottom. Pretty handy. The second way of getting to the map view in Google Photos is from the menu. So I'm just back out at main Google Photos, and if you tap on Collections, there is a section for Places. Tap on Places, and the first block is the map. Tap on the map, and now you can scroll around to anywhere you want to see and see what photos are there. They show up on the bottom, and if you want to see more photos or more map, you can adjust here. What if you don't see any photo locations? Well, maybe your camera on your phone is not set to record the location where you took it. Let me show you where that is. First, on Android. On Android, you have to open the Camera app and then tap the little gear for settings and look for, in my case, this is a Samsung, and the setting is called location tags. You want that on. Some might call it geotags. Just find the setting in the camera. On the iPhone, the setting for recording the location of a photo is in your main system settings. And then it's under Privacy. And Location Services. And that must be on, but that's not all. You have to scroll down until you see Camera and make sure that it's set to while using the app. From now on, your camera will stamp your photo with the location, and you'll be able to see it on a map using Google Photos. Cool stuff. Next on the essential learning checklist is editing photos. The main thing here is I just hope you all, is it frozen? I hope you all just take advantage of editing. Just a couple of clicks in the Google Photos app and your picture will look a lot better.
We're fine.
Deleting photos. Let's just go straight to the video, 877.
I used the trash can to delete photos, then later changed my mind. Can I get them back? No, they're lost forever.
Oh, yeah. Yes, if you think of it soon enough. So just let me show you where this is. This picture is something, I'm shopping for a new piece of dive equipment, and I took a picture of this. Let's say I'm done shopping, I don't need this anymore, and I delete it. And I allow it to move to trash. Now I say, oh, I've changed my mind. I really do want to know what that dive equipment was. I want that picture back. Where is the trash? Photos, collections. Now, if you don't have collections, it's library. Collections and trash. And there is the photo I just trashed, and I can restore. Notice it says 59 days left until permanently deleted. So if 60 days have gone by and this photo is not in your trash anymore, you are out of luck. There's nothing you can do. Which is why I highly recommend that you should always have another backup of your photos. You know, Google Photos backs up from your phone to the cloud. But if you delete from Google Photos, you're deleting both the phone and the cloud. You need another backup. And I have videos on that. You can just search Geeks on Tour for backup and you'll find videos on how I think that should be done. But if I restore it, now that picture is back in my photos. I restored it. I grabbed it out of the trash.
Okay.
I think I saw one more question here.
On adding photos from elsewhere, how do you suggest backing up my entire photo collection on OneDrive to Google Photos? Do I just plus add folder, then select?
They keep promising to give us a way to go 100% back and forth between Google Photos and OneDrive. I don't think it's quite there yet. So right now, but then again, OneDrive can be on your computer. So if you understand OneDrive good enough, it's confusing, and you have all your photos from OneDrive also on your computer's hard drive, then you can just back up from your computer's hard drive to Google Photos. Good luck. Okay.
All right. I want to remind everyone about the Backstage Pass. It's for premium members only. It's an online meeting using Zoom. After the show, you get the link from an email that Chris sends out. You should have gotten one this morning, or you can go to our geeksontour.com member login and just click on that link you see there. Anybody else? Sign up for our free newsletters. We have a free newsletter and we have a YouTube channel. So we want you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell to get notified. Click like, thumbs up, all those things that you do.
Give us a thumbs up. If you learned something, give us a thumbs up.
Please, somehow it helps us. All right. Well, did you learn something? I don't know. Did I? Let's see, if you use the camera app on an iPhone or a Samsung and tap the miniature photo in the corner, what app opens? Is it Google Photos, Apple Photos, or the Samsung Gallery?
On an iPhone or a Samsung, you'll get the native app, which is Apple Photos for the iPhone and Samsung Gallery. It is not Google Photos.
The native app on my Pixel is Google
Photos.
So
yeah.
If you have a Google phone, you have it all set. True or false, if you have the Google Photos app installed on your phone and the backup setting is on, you don't need to do anything else to upload your photos.
False. You need to open the app. You need to let your phone know that you are using that. And then I think you should even go to the web, photos.google.com, and check that it did it.
Double check. And it will back up in the background after you've opened it.
Yeah.
So you don't have to keep it live in front of everything, but regularly.
But it just won't even start.
Unless you open it.
And then it will stop, and you need to open the app in order to start it again.
So if something weird is going on, make sure you do that. If you use the trash can icon in Google Photos, you are deleting the photo, A, on device only, B, on Google Photos, the web only, or C, both devices and web.
C, both devices and web.
Okay, what's the best way to check that photos were successfully uploaded? A, watch for the backup complete. B, view photos.google.com on a computer. C, just open the Google Photos app.
If you just open the Google Photos app, you are seeing photos that are on device, whether or not they've been uploaded. So the best way is B, view photos.google.com on a computer.
Great. What's the best way to find a photo when all you know is where it was taken?
Oh, this is the map view. I love the map view.
Use the map.
Oh, sorry, I gave it away.
Spoiler. Use the map view, search, guess what date it was taken. I like
Map view. And you'll
Map
find
view.
that under collections and places.
Okay. Another reminder about the Backstage Pass, the Zoom meeting, got the link. I think we got that in there too many times. What's the webpage that lists all of our YouTube shows, Chris?
Geeksontour.com, and the menu item is YouTube shows. You'll find our button show. What does this button do under there?
Oh.
All episodes, all 390 something.
295. This is 295 here.
Are
okay?
listed there.
All right. And what's the webpage that lists all of our recent newsletters?
Geeksontour.com. The menu item is blogs and news. You'll find 15 years worth of newsletters under there, of monthly newsletters.
Wow. And why do people pay $58 a year to join Geeks on Tour?
Well, because they can take advantage of these top tips, for one, which is something where I kind of put everything together for you. And the Backstage Pass, private Zoom meetings, access to hundreds of Show Me videos, written notes from these shows, and some people only watch our free stuff, but they join to say thank you for all the free training they get.
Isn't that nice? Okay, become a member at geeksontour.com. Just go to the website and click on the link. Join now. That's it for this week, I guess, right?
Yep.
I'm Jim.
I'm Chris.
And we are Geeks on Tour. Thanks for watching.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.